An advisable business plan for Roma would be to firstly take on board the implications from her previous encounters with the PPSA. This would be beneficial for Roma to recap and strategize her current farming operations. Defaulting her loans to both Gotcha and Best in Time Finance was from circumstances out of her control. This misfortune should be considered an unlucky break and not one that Roma ought to have known would occur. In the advice given to Roma, there is no mention that she should radically change the way she does business. Her operations are successful, but it is advised that Roma takes advantage of the protection that the PPSA provides. Farming can be a delicate operation, but it is not to say that Roma should cease her endeavors and take on a business less risky. The advice to Roma is to provide a practical but legally informed suggestion for general farming operations. Simple measures such as comprehending the extent that the regulatory body provides protection in regards to her expansion in buying and selling farming goods would be the first logical step to improve Roma's current position. Provided by the Australian Financial Security Authority on their website, the PPS Act supports several financing arrangements which now make lending to agricultural producers attractive for financiers. For security interests related to the purchase of goods to be used for growing crops, financiers are now able to obtain priority over the general security which also covers the crops. This lowers the risk where financiers lend for this purpose. It is necessary to register the security interests granted under the form of a general security agreement on the PPS register to protect the security interests. To preserve the highest priority against competing interests in the same collateral classes, it will be necessary to register this interest as soon as possible. Given the broader ambit of the security interest, capturing several contractual arrangements which have not been previously required registration to be protected and enforceable against third parties, it's important for the parties to review the commercial agreements and consider whether in substance a security interest in the personal property is being or has been created. As seen, third-party enforceability is vital in a business for everyday trade. The implications of losing priority is quite possible. It is up to Roma to secure her interests in the expansion of repairing her machinery, dealings with unsecured creditors, and the evident complications of third-party dealers. Due to Roma's main concern with expanding and continuing her desire for the latest technology in the rice farming industry, she has opened herself to varying opportunities that can help see her succeed. It is also to be acknowledged that some matters are specifically excluded from the ambit of the PPSA. For this reason, Roma needs to be aware and track all business dealings and transactions that are outside the scope of the PPSA. Taking note of the goods, Roma's dealings with robotic technology is a benefit that could attract creditors to grant loans, secure their interests, and know that they have a promising asset to sell if Roma defaults. While this is a bleak consideration, it ultimately assists Roma with the current issues that she is having with the downfall and relocation of her farm. This, alongside the Agri PMSI advantages that benefits the creditor more so than Roma. The PPSA can help Roma borrow extra funds at the best possible rate. This can be done by the lender taking a registered security interest over the business inventory, which would enable her to borrow at a cheaper rate, rather than using an unsecured loan. The smallest of research can open prospective opportunities even before Roma buys the new farmland. She can and is advised that she conducts a search on the PPSR to see if any of her assets are subject to the prior security interest. There are also opportunities with PMSIs that Roma is advised to take advantage of. PMSIs allow a grantor who has who is given a security over their present and future property to obtain financing from another creditor secured by new assets. The PMSI secured party can take priority over existing secured party in relation to the new assets. So the PMSI provides an opportunity for different sources of finance. It is advised that Roma is aware of the technicalities of such dealings to ensure she does not bury herself in multiple contracts with varying creditors to continue her rice farming. It is suggested to Roma that she analyzes the agreement between prospective creditors and work out whether she can use the opportunity to best her position. Within the agreement, the secured party may provide the further creation of PMSIs by her is prohibited or restricted. General security agreements often have those provisions. The result of this would be that the grantor may be in default under the existing security agreement by allowing a PMSI to arise. It is important to note that a PMSI can be trumped by another PMSI, which includes an agri PMSI in crops. This can be used to secure funds lent by a secured party and used by the grantor, Roma, enabling her to acquire the collateral. Knowing when to take advantage of this will greatly benefit Roma for her future endeavors of rice farming. There is also consideration to the specified time frame outlined in Section 62. For stock, the security interest must be registered at the time that the grantor receives possession of those items. A secured party is expected to lose their interest in those assets to a pre-existing general security agreement. It is important to Roma that she takes careful notice of the technicalities of the PPSA. It is important that the timeframes are noted and appreciated. There are opportunities when a creditor does not register interest in Roma's assets. Acknowledging when to take advantage of unsecured interests may be beneficial to Roma's business. To take maximum advantage of the protection of the PPSR, it is advised that Roma reviews her business activities and identify transactions which by creating security interests can be registered on the PPSR. Further, it is advised that Roma arranges to go through the terms of trade and other key documents including financing statements and security agreements. This will assist with the possible business exposure to unnecessary risk. To conclude, the register is a very handy tool that assists with the brighter protection. It benefits businesses by helping to make secured financing more accessible, reducing transaction costs, and making lenders more willing to accept different kinds of personal property as a security for a loan. Roma's knowledge of the PPSR and the understanding of her expanding business interests will help provide a greater peace of mind. Thank you.